Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how the front wheel locking mechanism works on the Baby Jogger Summit XC stroller. Not sure if there's other models that have the same setup, but this is the one I had and had some problems, so I thought I'd make a quick video to show you how it works in case you needed to repair it as well. So basically there's a toggle switch here. On this side, this front wheel is in freewheel mode where it can spin around freely as you're walking. This mode will lock the wheel in place like that, so that when you're running or jogging, it's a little bit more stable. The problem that I was having is this toggle switch, no matter which side it was in, my wheel was stuck in freewheel mode, so it would not lock. But I've also read some reports that people have problems when it's in freewheel mode, that it will go to locking mode on its own. I'm going to show you how this thing works, and hopefully that'll help you figure out how to solve your problem if you're having one. Let me hand off the camera here. So to start, we're going to take a small flathead screwdriver and get some light. And on the top of this toggle switch is a small plastic cap, and there's a little notch in there. You stick the screwdriver down in the notch, kind of rock it back, and you can pull that right out. Set that to the side. On the top is a Phillips head screw right in there. That's what we're going to need to be removing. But before we do that, we're going to want to remove this front wheel. So let's put it in freewheel mode, spin the wheel around. There's a quick release. You simply press that down, remove the tire from the post, set it to the side, and I'll show you how this works before we disassemble it. So right here is the pin that we're going to be working on. Right now it's in freewheel mode, so it's up. But when I flip to fixed gear, you can see that that pin sort of pops out. And it's on a spring, so it goes up. But what happens is that pin connects into this hole on the top of the stroller. My problem was that this pin wouldn't come down. I think it was because there was some dirt or sand stuck in there. But let me disassemble this and show you how it works. If you want to, you can unstrap the back of this pad here. There's 2 screws here, 2 screws over here, and underneath this front sticker there's 1 more screw. So if you want to remove this whole footrest piece, you can, but it's not necessary for this repair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Phillips screwdriver right in that screw, and I'm simply going to remove that toggle switch. Now the screw goes directly into that plastic pin on the bottom, so that should fall loose once the screw is out. And it did. So you can lift out that toggle switch right there. There's the pin from the bottom and the spring. So as you can see there's the components. And let me show you how this works. The screw goes into the top of the toggle switch. Spring goes on top of the screw. And this little plastic pin simply threads right on there, and that's the mechanism that locks the tire. All I did was disassemble all of these parts, clean them off, get them free of sand, any dirt. Then I went on this hole. As you can see, that hole is empty now. Just clean that out, blow some air, use a Q-tip, something to get any sand or anything that may be stuck in there. Then you simply put it back together. So I take the pin, put it through the toggle switch, put it back into place. Before I do that, I can show you how this functions. So as you can see, there's different notches on the side of this toggle switch. Inside that hole, there's some different levels, and as this turns, it goes to different heights. Kind of see that goes up and down, and that's how it moves that pin up and down to lock the tire in place. So to reassemble this, put the screw back in, thread it through that bottom hole, and as you can see, the screw comes out the bottom. Simply take your spring, put it over top of the screw, start by twisting the plastic pin on there a little bit to keep it in place, line up the square, and push it up just a little bit. Then you just tighten this screw down a little bit, and the key here is the adjustment of the screw. So you want it to be tight enough where it's not rubbing on the wheel when it's in freewheel mode, which is what causes the undesired locking, but you want it to be loose enough where you're in fixed wheel mode, it drops down low enough to go into the hole in the tire. Once that's there, we're going to snap that wheel back on, and I'll turn this on its side so you can get a better idea of what's happening. So right here, you can kind of see the bottom side of that pin. And as I turn this from side to side, it's not touching the plastic. So you can get a kind of a good angle in there. And what happens is, when I flip the toggle switch, that pin drops down, and as I spin the tire all the way around, let's get a good shot of that, it clicks right into that hole. You can see that it's not quite in where the flat part is touching, but that's good because it's flush with the bottom, the wheel's locked in, and it'll work out great. Now, if you're in freewheel mode and you move the tire back and forth, if that pin clicks or rubs at all, you're going to want to tighten the screw on the top just a little bit to make sure that when the wheel is spinning freely, it doesn't go. So I'm going to do it one little bit tighter just to make sure. Spin it, and it's clear. So that's pretty much all there is. Make sure your wheel spins all the way around. When you put it into lock mode, it should click into place. Don't forget to take your last cap, simply push it back down in place how you had it before, and your tire is fixed.